Please, let me start with, okay, so let me start myself. For the sake of those that are just joining the platform for the very first time, this is Digitech Zeal. What we do on this platform is to organize live tech training across different technology. Some of the training we offer on this platform are cybersecurity, website design and development, graphics design, video editing, keys and things coding, which happen to be the session we are in right now. We also train on Python programming for mobile app development. Okay, so let me start with the Akachi. Please, can you unmute and briefly introduce yourself? Just tell us your name and where you are joining from.
Okay, evening, sir. My name is Awaji Akachi. I'm joining from Imo State.
Okay, so Akachi is joining from Imo State. Okay, so let's go to Bruno, please. Please, once I'm done with Bruno, Galaxy A9, get ready. Once you are ready, you don't need to wait. Just kindly unmute. Let's do that real quick. That is how I can also confirm that you are hearing me. Okay, go ahead, Bruno.
Okay, sir. So good evening. My name is Omechi Bruno. I'm from River State.
Okay, Omeche Bruno is joining from River State. Okay, Galaxy A9, please, over to you. Let's do this real quick. I have another session that will start immediately after your section so that we can make good use of our time.
My name is Bliss. I'm joining from Asaba.
Okay, you are joining from Asaba. Actually, there are two of them there. I have Oreva here. Please, can you quickly do the same so that we can proceed? The person joining with Oreva, you can just unmute. Tell us your name and where you are joining from. Can Oreva hear me at all? Please, I need to confirm. Hello? Okay, so let's proceed so that we don't take too much time on that. All right, so I want to officially welcome us to this coding session. This is tag keys / teens coding class or bootcamp 2026. And today we are starting with one of the language that we advertise that this training covers within the next 6 weeks or thereabouts. So in this package or this training, we are going to learn HTML as one of the coding language. We are also going to be exposed to CSS as another coding language. And then, of course, we are also going to be exposed to Python, which happen to be one of the most used AI programming or coding language. So let's quickly dive in. Today's training is going to be more of practical. Make sure that those of you that are joining with laptop, make sure that you practice alongside with me. Or if you notice that you cannot actually listen at the same time, write. So it's work at the same time, listen and write. You can just pay attention and write, and also listen. Maybe after the class, though the video will be made available via the group that we are all in to, go over it again. We just try as much as possible to grab as many as possible you can grab while the class is going on. Please, I want to beg every one of you to pay good attention. Nobody should be distracted. One of the way I will know if you are not paying attention is when I call your name to respond and it's taking you time. Like I just called Oreva now and he or she has not responded. It shows that either the person is not correctly in the class or the person is discussing over there. That is why the person could not talk back to me. So make sure that you stay attentive so that you can get the full package. All right. So the first thing we are going to look at briefly, though we have, for those that joined the first class, we did something like that, but I'm just going to reverse because I know we have some persons that are just joining so that we can all be on the same page. All right, so let's start with looking at some of the information about coding. Let's quickly look at some few things about coding so that we can all flow together. All right, so let's look at what is even the coding that we are all in to learn tonight. What is coding? What is coding? What is coding? So we need to start from here. So there are a few questions that we need to provide answer to. So we should know what, in fact, let's start with what is code. Then we now look at what is coding. All right. Then we'll now look at coding languages. We look at coding languages. Look at coding languages. And then we'll also look at coding application. We'll look at coding application, right? Or IDE. And then lastly, we'll look at introduction to HTML. But before that introduction to HTML, we will look at how to set up coding environment. I hope we are all right in environment. Please let me confirm again if you guys are still hearing me clearly. Can you guys hear me? Because I know it's raining a little bit here, but hope the noise is not disturbing. Are you guys hearing me clearly?
Yes, sir.
And you are not hearing any other sound outside my sound, right?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Okay, so let me quickly run us through these few topics that I have highlighted on the screen. Okay, so so you can make your notes because I just want to run through them. So I will not want us to waste time in okay, I'll see what I can do. So let's start with the code. What is code? Now, I think let me leave this here for those that are still writing, so you still have access to it here. Let me take another pen. So let me discuss. So if you have not done writing the first one, just continue writing. When you are done with that, then you shift to the second one. So here, let's start with what is code or the definition of code. Now, since we are all in to learn coding, we must understand what code is all about. That should be our starting point. We need to understand what is a code. All right, so we can define code. We can say a code or code, let's say code are instruction. Code are instruction Code are instructions or command. Code are instructions or commands. All right. Used to talk. Used to talk to the computer. Used to talk to the computer. I hope we are following. Once I call your name, you respond. I hope we are following Akachi. This is how
Yes,
I
sir.
know code. All right. So that is the simple definition of code. So code, when next you hear code, it means command. It means instruction. And what are these instructions used for? So that we know why we are learning. These instructions are used to control the computer. They are used to tell the computer to do something for us. All right, so we need to understand that. So that is the definition of what? Code. Now, let's look at coding. Let's look at coding. Now that we have known what is code, now coding is what? Let's look at what is then what is coding, because that is what we are all in for. We are all here to learn coding. So what is coding? So since we have known that code are instruction are used for instructing or guiding the computer to carry out an operation, then coding is just the process of writing what? Those instructions. Galaxy A9, I hope that is understood. Galaxy A9. Once you are taking time, I know
Yes.
you know code. So coding is the process. Coding is the process of writing. Is the process of writing computer instructions. Computer instructions or command. Simple as that. Coding is the process of writing computer instructions. I hope that is clear. Oreva, if you can hear me, can you simply reply? Oreva, by now, are you with me? Oreva, I can't still hear you. Can you speak out? Are you following? Okay, so I understand you are trying to speak, but fortunately I can't hear you. But I believe you can hear me. All right. Okay, so now please, if you have question within your Zoom panel where you have share, where you have chat, where you will say something like react. So there is a button there that you can click to raise up your hand. And that's once I see that icon, then I will be informed that somebody wants to ask question. So we have just defined what is what code and what is coding. All right. Now let's look at coding languages. Let us look at coding languages. Let's look at coding languages. But before we look at coding languages, now you need to also know that the individuals like you and I that writes this code, this command for the computer to do something for us, we are addressed or called coder or programmers. Are we together, Bruno? Bruno, are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
The individuals that write these computer instructions or command, they are called what? They are called what? Coders or what? Programmer, which means that at the end of this training, you will be addressed as a computer programmer, as somebody who writes command for the computer to follow. Are we together now? Okay, so now let's now look at coding languages. Now, before we talk about coding languages, there is something I want you to understand, just like the way you have the Hausa language, the way you have the Yoruba language, the way you have the Isoko language. All right, so in computer, we have languages. What do we do with all these languages that I mentioned? They are used for what? Communication. Am I correct? Galaxy A9. Am I correct? Galaxy A9.
Yes, sir.
Good. You speak your language because you want to tell somebody, you want to pass a message, you want to communicate. All right. So the same way we have it in computer, we have computer languages, which we are now calling the coding languages. In other words, for you to speak the language of the computer, you need the knowledge of one of these words, coding languages, to write those instructions. All right. And that is why we are here for this summer. What we are simply here to achieve, we want to learn 3 different words, computer coding or programming languages. Languages that can only be used to speak to the computer. All right? Because the computer has been proven as one of the highest technology, right, that has ever been invented in the world. Is tremendously breaking boundary. All right? So we need to understand that clearly. Okay? So coding languages means, let's define it. What do we mean by coding languages? For those that are just joining, the order of your writing, you write this one. When you are through with this, you write this. When you are done with this, you write this, and then follow by where we are. Okay, so what we mean by coding languages or programming languages, right? These are computer, these are computer languages used to write instructions for the computer to follow. For the computer to follow. Am I still communicating? River is out. Am I still communicating? Folabi, if you can unmute and respond to this question. Am I communicating? Are we learning something?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so now we understand 3 things. We know what is called code. We know what is called coding. And now we also understand that there are languages that are used to write this command that our computers follows. Now that we understand that, let's look at their example. Let's mention a few of them. Example of computer coding languages. Let's look at some of the examples. Examples of, or let's just say, since we've already captured the heading. So example of computer programming or coding languages. Number 1, I want to mention HTML because I just want to start with the ones that pertain to this training. HTML, which means hypertext markup language. So this is one of the coding language. So for you to learn how to program, how to write code, how to write computer instruction, in fact, this should be the basics. This is where you should start from. And that is the reason why we pointed it out as part of what you are going to learn. This programming language should give you a very solid background that you can now begin to build on it as you upgrade to other words, maybe more complicated languages. So whenever you hear HTML, you know that it's one of the coding language. Anybody that writes a program, that writes code, is a programmer. So long that language deals with writing of code, it is qualified to be called a programming, or let's say what, coding language. The only thing is that it may not be a core programming language. We have like the main programming language or coding language, and then we have the minor. All right, so HTML happens to be one of the minor coding language, not the main coding language, but certainly it is used for writing computer instruction. I hope I am making sense, Bruno. Bruno, are you with me? Reva is back. Welcome back.
Yes, sir, you're making sense.
All right. Okay, so now we understand the full meaning of what HTML to be what? Hyper text markup language, right? So now, what do we do with it? Let me quickly highlight it. Let me highlight what we do with the HTML. It's part of what we are learning. So let's add to it. It is used to create website content. So all those information you see in a website, all those pictures, all those links, all those video, all those audio, all those write-up. In fact, any content, anything you can find in a website, just know that the person that built that website used HTML to define the structure, to add the content. Now, just to practicalize it, so that even if they wake you up from sleep tomorrow morning and they ask you what is the function of HTML, you can tell the person that HTML forms the skeleton of a website. For example, now, the bones in your body form the shape of your body. The reason why my hand is like this is not because of the flesh. Who can tell me what determines the shape of this finger like this? Should I call name? Anybody who can answer the question first? Okay, Precious wants to. Precious is here. He's also learning. So Precious, can you speak out for them to hear? What forms the shape of these fingers? Okay, so she could not get it. Can somebody help us? What forms the shape of these fingers?
The bones form the shape of the fingers.
The bones. There is a bone here. That is why it's standing. If not, if there's no bone, the flesh will not stand. All right. So the same thing. If there are no content within your website, all right, so you will not have any shape. So your website will be shapeless. And that is why we are saying that since we are learning how to design website, we're also learning how to build mobile app, because the Python we are going to learn is for building mobile app. While the HTML and the CSS, they are for creating website. So which means that at the end of this training, by the time you go back to your school, all right, if you are offering any subject that relate to computing or coding, you are going to do better. Even outside that, by the time you go back to school, you will see that your reasoning level has upgraded or increased. Your problem solving capacity must have as well what increased. These are some of the direct benefits of learning coding. And that is why you see almost every school today, they are now imbibing, they are now what? Incorporating coding into their curriculum, because they have found the importance of it. They have also seen that children or students who code just like you are learning, they are always very smart. How many of us have ever come across a programmer that is dull? It can never. You can never see any programmer, anybody called a programmer being dull. It is not possible. We are always very smart. We are always very intelligent, because that is one thing that you are going to learn, that when you go back to school after the summer, you will find out that if you are not doing well in mathematics, you will start doing well in mathematics. If you are not doing well in those difficult subjects, all of a sudden you will see that you must have improved, because coding will teach us how to stay put, how to persevere, not to give up on easily. Coding will teach us how to solve problem, how to break complex problem into what simplest form. At the end of the day, we end up solving it. Even in mathematics, how many of us know what is called board mass? If you can unmute and let me know. You know what is called board mass? I don't know if you are taught this day. What is called board mass? Can anybody tell me? Somebody should be able to tell me what is called board mass. If you don't know it, don't raise up your hand, precious. Can anybody tell us? Okay, go ahead.
What mass is a bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction?
Good. Now, this is what I want you to pick from. There's a reason why the mathematicians say that if you come across a complex problem, that you should follow a rule. That is, if you have things in the bracket, you open the bracket first. That is, they are actually telling us that we should follow a particular order to simplify a complex mathematical word challenge, isn't it? That is exactly what they are trying to tell us. So that is what I'm talking about. Okay, so we have just acknowledged one of the language that you can use to code HTML, and I've also pointed out its function. Now let's look at the second one, is CSS. Like I said, I am prioritizing the ones that we register for, all right, before I even mention others. Now, what is the full meaning of CSS? What is the full meaning of CSS? So CSS means cascade. Cascade style sheet. Make sure that at the end of the class, you all must snap your notes and post it in the group. Don't forget. So make sure that you are writing. Cascade style sheet. So what do we do with the CSS? It is used to decorate website content. It is used to decorate website content. Are we together? So CSS is used to do what? To decorate what? Website what? Content. It's used to decorate website content. So we need to understand that. We need to understand that. If somebody should help me to remind them in the group that the class is still going on. Right? Because I know I still have some persons that have not joined. Okay, so now we have mentioned two coding languages. Now let's look at the third one. The third one is Python. The third one is Python. Python. So Python is an AI. AI is an AI. What is the full meaning of AI? Can somebody unmute and tell us? What is the full meaning of AI? What is the full meaning of AI? Who can tell us? Akachi. Okay, somebody else. Oreva, can you hear me now? I think you once said you cannot hear me. I want to find out if you can hear me now. Can Oreva hear me? Okay, go ahead. Who wanted to answer the question? Please, can you answer it now? What's the full meaning of AI?
The full meaning of AI is artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. Can we say that it's a smart language? Is it a smart language? Yes. All right. For a language to be, look at it now, artificial intelligence, which means that what is a programming language that is very smart. That is why you see that Python is taking over. Almost every aspect of technology today has a root of Python. So you learning Python, you stand to gain a lot. By the time you are done with your school and you want to learn core tech program like cybersecurity, data analytics, AI application development, you are going to do well just because you have knowledge of what Python, because Python is actually one of the most used AI language. Okay, so I don't know, it's like I mistakenly. So I believe we have all written what I have on the screen. Let me, so that we don't have too many information on the screen. Okay, so I was talking about what the third language is Python. So let's define Python before we go to the next topic. So I said Python is one of the most, let's say Python is an AI, coding language. It's an AI coding language used to build application, applications or software. You see the OP that we are using, was created with Python. I believe you all know what is called OP, right? The OP, the money points, they are all financial application. They were all designed or created with Python. So Python can also automate what tasks. Let's add that as additional word note. It can automate tasks. That is, it can make things to work on their own, even when you are sleeping. So it reduces the manual input. Instead of you doing everything manually, with Python now, you can easily program stuff to work on their own. I hope everything that I've explained is clear because I'm shifting focus to the next topic. Let me allow us to ask questions. Anybody with question? And I hope everybody can now hear me. Anybody with question, please? Okay, if you don't have question, can you unmute one after the other and talk back to me? How has the class going with you? Are you enjoying it? Just say something about the class so far. Let me start with Akashi. 1 minute I'm giving to each and everyone 1 minute to say something about what we have learned so far.
Yes, I'm actually enjoying the class very well. I'm understanding some of this thing. I've seen like one or two of, I've heard of this before, some of them, but at least now I'm understanding very well.
Okay, Folabi, over to you. Please, just 30 seconds is enough.
Okay, sir. The class is going on well. I'm learning new computer languages like the CSS. I haven't heard of that before. So, thank you.
Okay, Galaxy A9, please, can you tell us? Galaxy A9, please, if you're okay, good.
It's fine. I'm learning new things like CSS and Python. I've not heard of it before, only HTML.
Okay, right. So Akachi, after Akashi, Precious will say something about what she's learning as well. Akashi, okay, I think Akashi, I've said something, right? Okay, I think I started with Akashi. Okay, Oreva, please, can you hear us now? Can you say something? We will also like to hear from you. Oreva, if you can hear me. So while we are waiting for
Well, I'm enjoying the class. It's going great.
okay, good. Right. Okay, Precious, you have to speak up so that they can hear you. Are you enjoying the class or not? The Precious say yes. Okay, now let's shift our focus, and I hope we are all writing. Now, for those of us that have written the topics, when I started, I gave us topics that we plan to cover. Can you tell me the next topic? This is how we catch you whether you were writing. What is the next topic now? Look at what we have written, compare it to the topic that are outlined when we're about starting. Which topic should we be going into now?
Um, the last thing you told us in the learning objective
Good.
was understand that computers follow instructions, exactly. Because I've already identified the programming languages. I've already noted down.
Can you read them out to me? One, what's the first topic I said we are going to discuss? Code, right? We will learn what is called code, right?
Yes.
The second one is what?
Yes.
The second one is what?
We said we know why coding is important.
Was that the second one?
And
Let me go to the next. I didn't say why code is important. Is that how I put it? Afolabi.
No, you said what is the meaning of coding? You
Coding.
learn the meaning of
Coding. Good. The third one. So we have already done the first and second. Let's keep going. What's the third topic?
what
The
is
third
coding
topic is
language?
Coding languages. Good. I mean, we have also settled what? The third topic. Let's go to the fourth topic.
coding applications and ID.
Good. Now, that is where we are now. Let's look at that. Coding applications. Coding applications or IDE. So let's discuss that briefly. That is the next topic. Coding application or IDE. So let's start by understanding the full meaning of IDE. Let's quickly get that sorted out before we have the proper definition. Let's look at what is IDE. So the full meaning of IDE is integrated. Integrated. The full meaning of IDE is integrated. Integrated development. Environment. That is the full meaning of IDE. Integrated development environment. All right, so let's define it properly now. Let's define it properly. So coding IDE, which also means what? Application. Coding IDE are softwares. Coding IDE are softwares that provide interface for coder, that is you and I, coders or programmers, to write, underline write, that is the first function of an ID, to write, comma, to test code, and debug. So I need to break down some of these terms. So that is the function of programming IDE. So when you leave this class and somebody asks you, since you claim that you write computer instruction, and the person asks you that, okay, which interface, which environment, which platform do you use to write these computer instructions? You tell the person the example we are going to mention. But before that, I want us to write this as a note, that what encoding, comma, bug means errors. Encoding, bugs means what? Errors. Are we together? Galaxy A9. Are we together? Galaxy
Yes,
A9.
sir.
You were not there, I've caught you. Can you see it? You are not in the class. So this is how you are believing my class. The person on red.
Yes, sir.
This is how you have been running away from my class. I just catch you now. Please make sure you stay attentively. Now, what do you mean by bug in coding? What is the meaning of bug? What is bug? Who can tell us the meaning of bug? What is the meaning of bug?
Oh, it means an
Bug
error.
means errors.
This box means what? Errors. Good. So just make sure that you write it. Make sure that you write it. Sorry. Box means what? Errors. So we need to understand that what? Box means what? Errors. I hope you are still writing. Make sure that you write that. Let me use another pencil. All right, so now that we know the meaning of bug, I want somebody who is smart to tell me the meaning of what? Debugging. What do you think debugging will be? What is the meaning of debugging? Now, bugs are error, right? So debugging will be what?
Debugging should be removing of errors.
Removing error. Let's write it. Debugging means, please everybody take note of this because I'll be using this term. Debugging means removing errors. Debugging means removing errors. All right? Debugging means what? Removing errors. So now, I want to ask us a question. Can anybody code without encountering errors?
No, sir.
Is it possible before you finish developing an app like OPay that there will not be any time that you have error? Is it possible?
No, sir.
It's not possible because nobody is what? Perfect. All right. Now, let me ask you this question. When you encounter errors, when you are coding, do you run away or you stay until you solve the error, until you remove the error?
You stay until you remove the
You
error.
stay until you do what? You remove the error. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Now, that process of you continually, looking for ways to solve the error, that process that you are not able to give up,
You are still trying to make sure that you eliminate the error. What do you think you are going to develop in doing that? What do you think you are going to develop? Can anybody tell me? Should I call name? Okay, I catch it.
The question, I didn't hear you, a network.
Now, the question is this. The first part of the question was, as a programmer, when you write code and you have errors, do you run away or you wait until you solve the problem?
You wait until you solve the problem.
Good. Now, the part B of the question, that process of not easily running away, that process of continually trying until you solve the error, what will it add to you?
Like the spirit of discipline, and to give you more knowledge on the thing, so that next time you not make that mistake again.
Good. It will give you more knowledge, but I still want another person to try. There's a keyword I'm looking for. That process of persevering, that process of not giving up easily. What will you become at the end when you eventually solve the problem?
You become a programmer.
You become a programmer, I know, yes. But there's a word I'm looking for. I want to see somebody can get it for me. When we start, okay, let's take it this way. When we started, what did I say that is the benefit of kids or teenager learning coding? What are the benefits that we spelled out at the beginning? Why should kids or teenagers learn coding? They will have said only adults should learn coding, but why are you at this age learning coding? There are three things that you achieve. Number one, you increase your creativity. So that process that you are not running away because you want to solve the error, what would that help you to achieve? To be more what? Creative. Am I correct? Hello?
You are correct,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Good, because
Yes, sir, you're correct.
good. The reason why you will be more creative is that you must have used one particular idea and it did not work. You are still getting error. You will not think for another idea. Maybe that one could not solve it. So you keep thinking as you are going through these ideas. Somehow, you are making more research and you are getting more exposed and you are learning how to what? To solve problem. You are learning how to solve difficult problem. And it is your type that company will employ tomorrow as managers. Are you with me? When you finish your studies and you get to that age of looking for a job, programming that you have been investing on will have make you someone who does not give up easily. The programming you have been, investing on must have increased your problem-solving ability. And the people that solve problem, people that does not see problem and run away, they are the one companies are looking for to manage they are the one individuals are looking for to manage their company. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Sir. Yeah.
All right. Now we understand this. So let's go back to the topic, ID. So now we are going to see why we are using, let's look at the example of IDE now, before we leave this topic. Right, examples of what? IDE. Let's write. Example of what? Coding application or IDE. Example of coding application. You must find a way of installing one of them. You must have at least one of these apps that I'm going to mention installed in your laptop or your phone before you can code. So number one we want to look at is Visual Studio Code. That is the one those of us that are using laptop must have installed. So that is the app you are going to use to learn coding throughout this training. Then number two is Atom. And then number three, I'll just mention as many as possible, but mind you, throughout this training, we are going to use this one for those that are using laptop and those that are using phone. Which app did I say you should download? Somebody should unmute and tell me. Those that are using
Code.
Good. All right. So now we have sub right fast because we are living here now to practical aspect now. Sublime test. We have Sublime test. Then we have a Google Colab. We have Google Colab. This one is integrated in the browser. But when we get to Python, that is where probably we use it. It's more suitable with Python. Am I still communicating? So I'm waiting for you to finish writing so that we can go to the next topic. Somebody should get ready to tell us the next topic according to the objectives. Somebody should get ready to tell us the next topic. Are you done writing or you are still writing? Forever, I hope you are writing. Forever, are you writing? Are we still writing so that I can move to the next topic? I'm waiting. Can I clean now, please? Let somebody reply so that, are we done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is the next topic? Somebody should help us with the next topic. What is the next topic? What is the next topic? Let's go back to our plans from the beginning. What is the next
How
topic?
to set coding environments.
The what?
How to set up coding environments.
Good. Now, let's write how to set up coding environment. Let's write that because I'm leaving here now. Let me just give us the topic here. And then we are leaving here right away. Right? How to set up coding environment. How to set up coding environment. How to set up coding environment. Okay, so I believe we have written that. Now let's go. Make sure you are writing your step. Make sure you are writing your step. Now, to set up coding environment, step number 1, go to Google and download Visual Studio Code. Make sure you write that step as I'm saying it. I said what? Download. Let me see if I can still write it here for us to see. So step 1, download. You have to download one of those items that we mentioned. Download any of the IDEs. So in this case, I'm just focusing on Visual Studio
Code. Download Visual Studio Code. Download Visual Studio Code. I hope we are writing. So I've downloaded it. Now, once you have downloaded this, you now go to your download folder. This is what you are going to do. You click on, I hope you have written that. Now you click on this file explorer. Once you have downloaded, for those that are using laptop, you go to download. Once you go to download, if you have downloaded it, it's going to be mentioned here. So you are going to see it like this. So once you can find it, you will now double click on it like this, and then to start the installation process. Now you now click on I accept, and then click on next. Make sure that you check all these options, and then you click on next, and then you click on install. That's the last step. But because I have already installed, I don't have to what? To install again. So let me just what? Exit. But supposing I have not installed, remember that you start from opening a browser like Google Chrome like this, and then you type. So in case we have individuals here that probably in the course of the training, they got a laptop, maybe they were using phone before, you can follow this step. So let's say I just want to show us where you are to start from. So you open your browser like this, and then you just type download Visual Studio Code for Windows. You click on it like this, and then when it opens up like this, you click on this link, and then just hold on, you click on the link, that brings you here. Now when you get to this place, you see these are different platforms. This is for those that are using Mac computer. This is for those that are using Windows, like Windows 10, Windows 11. Then you click here, and then it will start what? Downloading. Once you click, you will see your download here, like this, tell you that what is downloaded. Then you hold on until the process is completed. But I am stopping it because I just wanted to show us, because I have already what? Configured it. Are we together? Can I get a response from you before I proceed? So that is all how to download it and install it. So let's continue with our step. What is the first step again? What is the first step? Can somebody read it out for me quickly? What is the first step?
Download Visual
Go to
Studio
Google
Code.
and download Visual Studio Code.
Good. That is the step I just walk us through now. Let me highlight it here. I say what? Go to what? Google, right? And what? Download Visual Studio Code, right? Go to Google and download Visual Studio Code. Then step two. Once you have downloaded and installed it, in fact, let me put it here. Step two, what? Double click to install it. Double click to install it. So once you double click, it will prompt you all those steps that I just showed us now. Then three, once you have installed it, you are going to see this icon like this. So your step three, locate the Visual Studio Code icon on the desktop interface, right? And double click. Once you can locate it, you double click, it will open. That we are going to do. So let me just write all the steps so that I can show us how to. Let's write all the steps down first. Then we can now together follow the step. to set up the program. Now, after this, step 4, make sure you are writing fast. Step 4, after you have double click to open, step 4, create a folder. Create a folder. Create a folder to hold all your website information. Create a folder to hold all your website information. Are we together? Create a folder to hold all your website information. Now remember that we are going to go through the step that will form the last part of the class. Just want us to write the step. Once we have particularized this step, then we'll stop there. So I will assume that everybody now have foundation. So the next class we just move on. So there are times that I'm thinking of this next week, we might meet 3 times, but I will inform us in the group. Just be preparing so that we can conclude before resumption. Okay, so create a folder. After creating a folder, create another folder. Create another folder. Create another folder inside the first folder. Inside the first folder you created. Inside the first folder. So we are going to EG. Let's say that folder should be EG IMG, which means image folder. So all the pictures we are going to use to design the website, we are going to publish them inside what? That folder. All right. So your step 6, create another folder. Create another folder. Create another, keep writing. Create another folder. Create another folder called, create another folder, call it CSS. So all your CSS will be inside this folder. All the code that we are going to write to decorate our designs, right, will be here. Then after that, the 7th step is you now open the Visual Studio Code again. Open the visual, that is if you have not opened it before creating all this folder, open the Visual Studio Code. Right? Then step 8, click on File menu. Click on File menu. Step 9, select the name of the first folder. Select the name of the first folder. All right, so step 10, which is the last one, I believe so, is click on all this. You understand the practical. Once I'm done, I'll do the practical, you see it. Just make sure you write your step. Click on new file and select new file. So 11, enter your file name. Enter your file name, e.g. Enter your file name, e.g. index. Make sure this index should not be typed with capital letter. Index.html. Right? So the last step, which is the 12th step, the 12th step is type HTML5. Everybody must do this before the next class. So I'm waiting. Once you are done writing, kindly let me know. Write fast so that we don't leave you behind. Write down all.
I'm done.
Okay, so let me be confirming from you one after the other. Please call your name before you say I'm done so I will know who exactly is true. I'm waiting. Who is still writing? So that we can do the practical and then probably allow us to go and digest this, because being the first class, we have to make sure that we understand all this very well before we take up properly. Afolabi, are you still writing?
No, sir, I'm done.
Bruno, are you still writing?
Yes, sir.
Please, let's hurry up. Oreva, are you still writing? Oreva, are you still writing?
No, sir.
Let's do that very fast.
Sir, please, what is the meaning of file menu? Like, which app is that?
It's not app, it's a step. Just write it, I will show you. Just write. You see me doing everything. We are going to practicalize all these steps for us to end the class. Just write. Don't just write. So while I'm doing the practical, make sure you notice
what you are asking. Those that are still writing, are you done writing so that we can look at the practical together? Once you are done writing, just unmute your name.
So I'm done writing.
Okay, can I clean now so that we can look at the steps together?
Yes, sir.
However, are you done writing? I want everybody to have the step, because you are not going to write as we are going to go through them, so that you can just follow. That's why I first of all give all the steps so that nobody will be distracted writing, because everybody must follow this step. And those that are using phone, remember that it's equivalent. I have already sent to us how you go about the phone version. Who is still writing? Okay, let me start calling your names one after the other. Galazi A9, you are done writing, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, Afolabi, are you done writing?
I'm done.
Bruno, are you still writing?
So I'm done writing.
Oreva, are you done writing?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Precious, you are almost through, right? Okay, Precious, don't worry, you take the remaining one later. Let's move. Now, pay attention, pay attention. You are not writing. All you need to do is to pay attention now, because this is going to be an assignment which you must submit. So I wouldn't want to listen to any excuse. Remember that after this training, we are going to issue each and every one of you certificate of participation. And if you are the type that is not doing my assignments, we are not going to give you certificates. I hope you all know that our certificate is registered with federal government, so you can use it to work when you finish your school. So it's not a roadside institution. Okay, so make sure you work towards earning excellence at the end of your training. And how do you get that? Your commitment to assignment. If you're having issue with your assignment, that is why we have the WhatsApp group, or your parents, or you can even from there chat us that, oh, I'm doing this, I'm having issue. Can anybody assist me with step? Somebody will be able to talk about to you. So now let's look at the step together now. Now, like I said, we have already installed the program. So the next thing, I'm going to create folder. Now, you see all these, they are called folder. Folders are storage. So any website you want to design, you have to create a folder. So how do we create folder? You look for empty space, not on top of any of this icon, empty space. You right click. And then once you right click, you press the right button of your mouse. You will see what? New. Once you click on new, you will see what? Folder. So I want you to take note of it. Look at the connection. We right clicked, we selected new, and then we click on what? Folder. Now, once you click, you have the folder here. You give your folder a name. For example, your name should be what? Practice. Or let's say what? Coding practice. Let's say coding practice. So let's say that is your name. Akachi, please, if you are not saying anything, remain muted. So I don't distract the class. Okay, so that is your folder must have a name. Now, I want you to look at your step in your note. The first step is to create what? A folder, right? What is the next step?
Yes, sir.
What is the next step in your note?
The next step is to
Is to do what? In your note, what's the next step? Check your note. They are forgotten. Is it not the note you claim you have written? Does it mean
create another folder inside the first folder.
good? Now you have created this folder. You double click on it to open it before you can create another folder inside. Now, while you are inside here, you right click again. What's the name of the folder I say you should create inside it? What is the name? What is the name? Check your notes. Exactly what you have in your note is what I want to follow now. IMG, image, right? So while you are inside this one, you right click, go to new again, click on folder again, you name it what? IMG. That is the first one. What's the next step in your note? Quickly, somebody else should check for me. What is the third step? What is the third step? What is the third step? Bruno and Afolabi, are you both not in the class? I thought you said you have written the step.
Um, we're supposed to.
It shows that you guys did not write the note. You are just saying you wrote the note. You did not write the note. Follow the step.
Folder called CSS.
Good. You create another folder called CSS. So I right click again. I'm still here. Then go to new again. Then select folder. Give it what? CSS. What is the fourth step? What is the fourth step? What is the fourth step? Hello, should I? Okay, maybe I should.
What
Do I have to call
open
your
the
name?
visual code.
Good. Now I'll leave here. I'll close here now. Then I'll go and open the Visual Studio Code. I'll double click on it. Everybody must do this as an assignment. So make sure you are following what I'm doing so that you'll be able to do your assignment. Now, the Visual Studio Code is opening. Just pay attention. Now, this one is one of the class, not your class, another keys coding class. This is what we treated. Now, we have opened the Visual Studio Code. What is the next step? Check your notes. What is the next step? After opening Visual Studio Code, what did I say you should do? What did I say you should do? Bruno, forever, you people are not saying anything. What is the
You
next?
click on file menu.
Good. Look at file here. You click on
I
file.
said click
Yes.
on file menu.
Good. You click on file here. Okay. After selecting file, what's the next step? I have clicked on file menu now. I think you were asking the other time that what is file menu. So this is it. File menu. After file menu, where do you go? What is the next step? I want another person to reply. That's it.
Select the
Click on what? Open folder. Abi, you click on open folder. Look at it here. Click on open folder, and then we now look for the name of that folder. What is the name of that folder we created? What is the name of that folder? You look for it here. Look at it here. So you touch it. Don't open it, just touch it. Make sure that it's showing here. Then you click on this. Now watch out. Just watch. Pay attention. Pay attention. Good. You can see that everything has been what? Called here. Everything is now here. So you have your file structure. What's the next step? What is the next step? Check. What is the next step? The next step is what? Click on what? New file. Can you see it here? Can you see? Is it not there? Is there no new file? What step is that? Where did I say you click on new file? Which step is that?
Step 10.
Step 10, right? Step 10, click on new file. And then step 11, you do what? Step 11,
Yeah.
you do what?
Enter your file name.
Good. E.g. what? Index.
Enter your file name.
E.g. index dot what? HTML.
Index.
Then you click outside. Good. What is the last step? Step 12.
HTML.
Good. What is the last step? Step 12. What is the last step?
Type HTML5.
Good. You type HTML5.
Type
Now let me type it. HTML5. Good. So we are here. We are here now. So if I want to publish my name now, I will just say H1. I will just say what? Welcome. So we are started building the website now. Welcome to coding. We'll learn all this properly in the next class. Welcome to coding class. Now, if I want to check it on the browser, let's say, how will people see it? You will now right click and then you select what? Open with Lifesaver. I just want to show us how it was. So we just learn one more thing and then we will draw the curtain. I understand that we are kids. It's like I've overstretched us. Just hold on. Just wait so that by the time you do your own, you can just play around something like this before the next class. So you will see that what we are able to publish something. So this is how those information that you see on the website, this is how they are developed. You can see it. So we coded welcome to what? So if people visit our website that we develop, they are going to see what? Welcome to coding class. So if I want to go and code another thing, I'll go back to the IDE. Okay, maybe I want to code another thing. I'll say H2. I want to code another thing. I'll say H2. My name is Eguero. My name is Eguero. So if I go back again, if I right click again and I select Open Live Saver, you will see that what I've also what publish. So that is how we publish everything you see in a website. Now, but by the time we get to CSS, we will now start learning how to give them color, how to move it from where it is to the middle, how to increase the size, how to do other manipulation, how to add images. We will learn all that. So our next class, I want you to write this down as our next class, but don't leave yet. Just write this topic down so that you know what we are going to look at in our next class. So in our next class, we are going to look at HTML, HTML tags / proper introduction. Proper introduction. Proper what? Introduction. Proper introduction. Are we together? So we are going to look at this topic in the next class. Okay, but before that, I want to show us one more thing so that those that are just installing their Visual Studio Code can do this before the next class. You see that when you right click and just because you want to view the outcome of what you have created, you want to check how people are going to view the website you are developing. When you right click, you click here. Now, this that you are seeing, it is because I have installed an extension. Now, if you are installing Visual Studio Code for the very first time, please, you click on this icon called extension. Then you now come here and type live server. Make sure you type it in probably a small letter. Type live server. For those that are installing for the very first time, type what? Live server. So once you type live server, make sure that you are on the internet while you are doing this. It will display it. Then you now good. You can see it now. Like my own, I have already installed it. That is why you are not seeing this install attached to it. For your own, if you have not installed it, this install will be attached to it. So you click on that install. You click on the install. When you click on the install, this is how it's going to show. This, you wait. This place will be showing installing. You hold on until you can see disable. Once you can see disable, you now click on this file icon here to go back to your file. Then when you now create this file, if you right click, that is when you can see this. If you have not installed it, if you right click, you cannot find it. So any questions so far? This is where we draw the curtain. Being the first class, I want us to stop here so that we can go and digest all this or master all this before the next class. Any question, please, before we... Any question?
Yes, sir. Menu. How you got your file in there?
There's so much noise where you are. There's so much noise. I hardly hear you. So reduce the noise and speak. Can you talk to me now, or you speak louder?
Noise where you are. There's so much noise. I hardly hear you.
I think our network is bad. Your network is... maybe you can send me a message on WhatsApp, the question you are trying to ask, so that we can leave others, because I can't hear you because of too much noise from your background there.
Network is because I
What type of
I can't still hear you. Your network is there's so much noise where you are. And again, whether your voice is breaking. Please, maybe what you do is that the next class, tell your parents if you are using Airtel, switch to MTN so that your network will be good. It's like your network is also bad.